I'm being forced to make a positive video about Chase. To that end, we're going to talk about the Chase Sapphire Reserve. In my 10 months of making credit card videos, I've never once made a positive video about Chase. As a matter of fact, I've gone out of my way to throw shade whenever I can sneak it in. However, to have a successful credit card channel on YouTube, one must pay homage to Chase. I'm not kidding, it's a requirement. Just you watch, this is likely going to be my most popular video because I'm talking about Chase. I've released 2 of the most substantial videos on YouTube about maximizing rewards with the built card. I'm not being braggy, just saying they're 2 of the most useful hacks to maximize rewards using the built card not made by any other content creator. And they received okay results on my tiny channel, but this video about Chase will do better. Why? Just because it's Chase. And for no other reason. So you see, I'm forced to appease the algorithm gods and dedicate an entire video to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But will it be a positive one? For those new to the channel, I'm Richard Debs and I'm an avid traveler. Normally I would say if you're watching this video, you likely are too. But in this case, if you're watching this video, you're likely a Chase loyalist and you're interested in having your love affair with Chase validated. I'm kidding, I really am. If you enjoy my digs, you ought to subscribe. And if you don't, you still ought to subscribe. When I think of Chase, I think of a mammoth bank. Last I checked, Chase is the largest bank in the United States with over $3.35 trillion in assets and over 4,800 branches. For reference, Capital One has $468 billion in assets and only 280 branches. Let that sink in. However, we're not here to talk about Capital One. We're here to learn what I think of the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The Reserve and the Chase Amazon Prime cards are my only 2 Chase cards. I'm not going to get into the Amazon Prime card because it's a straightforward card which earns 5% back on Amazon and Whole Foods purchases in the form of Amazon rewards or AR points. Let's talk about the big guy in the room. No, not me. The Chase Sapphire Reserve, silly. Some folks consider the Sapphire Reserve to be an uninspiring premium card for 2024. And in many respects, they would be correct. However, this card is getting better. I personally have 2 1/3 use cases for holding the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Number 1, lounge access. This is not unusual for me because this is how I typically use my premium travel cards. Number 2, travel. I think this broad category is genius for Chase and I'll share why in a minute. And now to my 3rd of a use case, car rentals. This gets just the 3rd of a use case because I often share this across 3 cards. Let's jump right in. Use case number 1, lounge access. My 2 use cases here are access to the Sapphire Lounge and regular priority pass. The Sapphire Lounge. I bounce between Boston and New York, and as luck would have it, those are the only 2 locations of the current Sapphire Lounges. Folks, that must be a sign that everyone should move to either New York or Boston. Just saying. The Boston Sapphire Lounge is spectacular.
What's your name?
My name is Katya.
Katya.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about the lounge?
My favorite part about the lounge, I would say, is the hanging glass.
Hanging? Oh, that's a good feature.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not gonna lie, Chase did pull off a good one. They pretty much didn't have a choice, and as they say, they met the moment. I'll be visiting the JFK Sapphire Lounge next month, but I'm hopeful that it'll be equally as impressive as the Boston Sapphire Lounge. I've seen good videos of it, but I'm a bit of a foodie, so I'll be the judge. Next is Priority Pass. I naturally have many cards which offer Priority Pass, but the Priority Pass through the Sapphire Reserve is the one that I travel with because of the airport restaurant option that's available. This is your go-to option when lounges are full if you happen to be traveling peak time. I tend to fly off-peak, so this is rare. The second use case is travel. The Sapphire Reserve offers 3x on travel. My Sapphire Reserve sees the most action with this category, but it's not likely the travel that you're thinking of. I'm talking about parking, tolls, the subway and the railroad in New York, and the T in Boston. If you're a city person, you know that it's pretty expensive to park in Boston and Manhattan. You could say that I own a $550 card for parking, tolls, the railroad, the subway, and the T. To be fair, it's truly a $250 card for me, and here's why. You get a $300 travel credit each year, which I use up within the first 45 days. Chase, having made this category so broad, has resulted in me carrying the Chase Sapphire Reserve card in my wallet every day so far in 2024, and it will likely continue. I wouldn't consider carrying the Amex Platinum card in my wallet every day, but Chase's play here is perfect. If a card's in your wallet, you're likely to use it more often. And now to the 1/3 use case of the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Car rentals for its primary CDW. Most folks might not be mindful of this benefit or even care, but if you rent a vehicle when you're traveling internationally, it's essential. I currently have the primary CDW from the Built card, as well as the Venture X. So I use the one that offers the best deal on the rental for the travel destination and for the date of travel. I've shared in other videos my Built status quest. So Built is likely going to be my card of choice for car rentals in most instances. Last month in Barbados, I used the Built card for my car rental. I highly recommend that you rent a car while in Barbados because a treat is to drive around the entire island. It's a fun activity and there are so many sights to take in. It's not that kind of island where you just want to stay in your resort. You want to get around daily on your own because there's so much to see. By the way, I highly recommend dining at the Cliff.
Pleasant good evening, welcome to the Cliff.
Spend a night at the Sandy Lane Hotel if you can swing it.
Let's go in the shop.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Taking an afternoon at the races.
Only in Barbados can you get this close to the starting gates.
Visit St. Lawrence Gap at night.
I'm on an island and I need some of the culture, so I'm having island food outside the back of a little minivan. And I'm getting some fried chicken, rice and peas, and fried sweet plantains. It smells so good.
Oystins on Friday nights.
All right guys, so I tried to negotiate with one of the vendors like I do in Kenya. He called me a fucking asshole. So that's how my negotiating is going in Barbados. Guys, I'm at a local cookout. They accept American Express.
Animal Flower Cave. Harrison's Cave. There are too many attractions to list, so the takeaway here is to rent a car. And I hope that you already own the Reserve, the Built card, or the Venture X. If you don't, be sure to support this channel by using one of my referral links in the description or on my website, boomacompany.com. By the way, if you're a low-key Rihanna fan, you might want to sneak in a peek at where she grew up. Are you wondering why I don't use the Chase Sapphire Reserve's 3x multiplier on dining? Take a guess. Do you have the answer? No, it's not because I already own the 4x Amex Gold card. It's because I can get up to 36x on dining using the Built card. If you haven't watched this video here, I'm very disappointed in you. I am low-key seeking to get the Built Platinum status by the end of the year. I'm essentially putting most of my eggs into the Built basket for 2024. Let's quickly talk about the other Chase cards. Freedom cards. I've bashed Freedom cards way too often, so I'm not gonna dig into it much here. Just know that they don't interest me primarily due to their overlapping categories, foreign transaction fees, and the Freedom Flex's required card management. Sapphire Preferred. I'm currently an authorized user, but Built has totally crushed this card in every way. So I don't find this card useful other than for those who are knee-deep in the Chase ecosystem and need a travel card to transfer Chase points out to travel partners to book flights and hotel stays. Chase Hotel cards. Hyatt and Marriott are great, but I'm a Hilton loyalist, and we'll be keeping it that way for a while. Did I already say that the Hilton Aspire card is the best hotel card on the market? Chase Airline cards. Again, this video is about my use cases and not a recommendation video. I'm just sharing with you how I use my cards. I hold the Amex Delta Platinum card, and only because of Delta's tight relationship with Flying Blue. And I care about Flying Blue because of Kenya Airways' tight relationship with them. So basically, I care about any tight relationship that gets me to Africa. Folks, there are 54 countries in Africa, and I plan to visit all of them. But I digress. My potential interest in the Chase Airline cards Aeroplan, British Airways, Aer Lingus, and Iberia would just be for the sign-up bonuses. I would never use those cards. Lonnie loves United, so I'll at least give it a hard look, but I'm not a believer yet. And I need to ask, why are there DoorDash, Instacart, and Disney Chase cards? I'm trying to be nice, so I'll leave it at that. Chase business cards. Now I must say that the ink cards interest me. They really do. I love my Amex business card, but I can no longer ignore the Chase Ink business cards because of their impressive sign-up bonuses. Also, all of my business cards are from American Express, so it's best that I acquire at least one card from another issuer in case there's an issue with Amex. I will certainly pick up a Chase Ink card later this year. So in summary, I have just 2 1/3 use cases for my Chase Sapphire Reserve: lounge access, travel locally, and car rentals abroad. Again, the Chase Sapphire Lounge is impressive. Earning 3x on seamless local travel is awesome, and booking car rentals with primary CDW is essential. My Chase Sapphire Reserve costs me $250 because I use up the $300 travel credit immediately. But given that I have a travel channel and a credit card channel, it's worth the investment. I'm also certain that I'll consume close to $250 in food and drinks at the Sapphire Lounge by the end of 2024. Thank you for watching until the end. Since you've gotten this far, it only makes sense to like, share, and subscribe to this channel to help give it some visibility. As always, take care and be good to each other.